I was correct in my summation then. This is where the printing press created by the master counterfeiter Prescott was hidden.
There must be 2,000 counterfeit notes here. If all these had entered circulation, the Bank of England would have been severely undermined.
Now we only have to wait and catch the bird returning to its nest.
You think this man, Prescott, will return here?
No, he was killed. It is his murderer I need to catch. James Winter, alias Killer Evans, known to have shot 3 men in the States.
Well, if our Wild West friend tries to live up to his nickname, I will be ready for him. I have my revolver.
Good old Watson. Stay where you are, Mr. Evans, if you value your life. You have a gun trained on you, and Scotland Yard will be with us in a few moments. I would advise surrender.
Well. I guess you've been one too many for me, Mr. Holmes. Saw through my game, I suppose, and played me for a sucker from the first. Well, sir, I hand it to you. You have me beat, and...
Watson! You're not hurt, Watson. For God's sake, say that you are not hurt.
It's nothing, Holmes. It's merely a scratch. Examine for yourself. It's just a flesh wound on my thigh.
You're right. It is quite superficial.
Is Killer Evans...
Yes. A clear case of self-defense on your part, dear fellow. Perhaps it is just as well that it should end this way. If he had killed you, I would not have let him get out of this room alive.
Hello, everyone. There is just never enough of Sherlock Holmes in your life.
Holmes, I do wish you would stop that.
Stop what, precisely?
Ruminating over my injury. You said yourself that it is a flesh wound, quite superficial. I will be back on my feet again in no time. You must stop worrying.
I was doing no such thing. I was considering an entirely different matter.
I may not be a master of observation, but I have known you long enough to think otherwise, my dear fellow.
There must be some way for me to help Watson. Taking a close observation of him would be a good place to start.
Welcome to the Beekeeper's Picnic.
My intimate companion and biographer, Dr. John H. Watson. Shall we see what can be observed about him? I should visit my brain attic afterwards to see what deductions can be made based on my findings.
A book.
It is a yellowback novel entitled The Lady Detective Makes It Right. There's a picture of a young lady examining a footprint on the front, an advertisement extolling the virtues of cocoa on the back. His look of concentration is occasionally interrupted by him wetting his lips and clearing his throat slightly. I have just observed something important. I should enter my brain attic later in order to see if I can make any deductions.
Any other notes about his appearance? Face, book, legs? Yes. Make use of Watson's leg.
The leg won't be of much use for a while yet, I fear. He was shot in the left thigh. The evidence is mostly gone. His blood-stained trousers have been burned. The bandage is not visible under his clothes. I can tell from the way he sits that it's still causing him some discomfort. He has had quite enough gunshot wounds for one lifetime.
Holmes, you are brooding again. I am touched that you are so affected, deeply touched. But I hate to see you keep berating yourself.
I love the way the voiceover is done. Very artistic, very good acting. Are we done? I think so. So we observed our friend Watson. What else we have? We have a gazogen.
This is Watson's gasogene. It is quite a clever device. The lower chamber contains water. The upper contains tartaric acid and sodium bicarbonate. The two chemicals react, producing carbon dioxide and carbonating the water. For some reason, he prefers to drink his water fizzing with bubbles. There are usually some glasses here, but they are absent. I will have to improvise.
Let's see. First
Welcome
here.
to my brain attic. I like to think of my mind as space full of well-chosen materials, information which I can draw on in order to complete my work. I keep a record here of people who are significant to me, represented by portraits on the walls. The blackboard is very important. I use it to combine observations I've made in order to make deductions, metaphorically, of course. He should not be here by rights. This is a place of facts, of logic. He is a distracting factor, grit in a sensitive instrument. Yet I find I want him here all the same. My brother Mycroft. He is my superior in observation and deduction, although he does not have the energy or ambition to be a detective. Instead, he uses his capacity of storing facts in aid of the government. Indeed, it could be said that occasionally he is the British government.
Knowledge of the solar system.
I've been meaning to get rid of that. It clutters up the place.
The blackboard. Facts you discover will appear in the box below. You can combine them to make deductions and further your investigation. I have some important news to share with Watson when I know that he's quite comfortable. Can I help Watson? Watson insists that he does not require anything, but I want to absolutely be certain. I should examine him and the room for clues. I don't know what to do with this. Can I... Stop. Come back. I don't know what to do. Maybe I don't have enough clues yet. Flowers.
Well, what have we here? Some pink pansies have been delivered to our door. There's a handwritten card on rather fine cardstock. The penmanship is decidedly female. However, it has a certain lax form which I associate with those in the medical field. Dear John, wishing you a swift recovery. With warmest regards, Rebecca. Dear John.
That is so sweet.
Dear John. How presumptive.
A telephone? Where do you see a telephone there?
A rather bulky, wall-mounted telephone with a tube to speak into and one to raise to your ear. I have seen more compact models. However, it has served me well enough since I installed it several years ago.
I see, it looked like not an outside, but instead inside like a safe, at least to me. There are bullet holes.
A series of bullet holes, expertly fired into the wall, form the letters VR, a patriotic display which stands for Victoria Regina.
What is Victoria Regina?
I did it myself many years ago in a peak of boredom.
Victoria Regina. Oh, that's a queen. I see. Books and files.
An eclectic selection of books. Once Watson's novels and my own reference books were carefully delineated, and after many years of living together, they are hopelessly muddled.
They're really like a married couple.
A memento of one of my early cases. It is a photograph of the late opera singer Irene Norton, née Adler, the woman who was able to utterly evade my traps. I am always rather pleased that she did. A print of Turner's The Great Fall of the Reichenbach. It has been there since Watson and I moved here, but has taken on additional meaning in the course of our adventures. We could go back to Switzerland, you know, for a holiday. I imagine it is rather nice if one is not fleeing for one's life.
That may be. However, I would prefer not to.
What? A Persian slipper?
A single silk embroidered slipper in an oriental style. I lost its partner many years ago. Since then, it has been used as a receptacle for tobacco.
Love it. Play it. I played the demo.
The remains of Watson's dinner. From the colour of the sauce and a distinct smell, I think that this once held a portion of Mrs. Hudson's quite delightful curried lamb.
But what I found curious that after the voiceover was added, it wasn't available during demo. It kind of acquired an absolutely different vibe of the game, so I don't even remember what I need to do. Like, I remember that I passed through the stage, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
A delicious dish, which has sometimes even induced me to overindulge. However, it is quite spicy and salty. I have just observed something important. I should enter my brain attic later in order to see if I can make any deductions.
Good thinking. A beaker.
A newly washed glass beaker.
Chemistry set?
A well-used set of chemist's equipment. The solutions to some of my most complex cases have been wrought here, over Bunsen burner and beaker.
Well, I think we're pretty done with examining everything. No jackknife.
It is my practice to keep my unread correspondence firmly secured to the mantelpiece with a jackknife. I find it to be an efficient filing method, but not one generally advocated.
What is jackknife? That is just a large knife with a folding blade, but I don't understand how you can use it as a... Do you just place your documents underneath it? I guess that's why it's not generally advocated. Alright, so we have inventory empty, and we have our blackboard where we need to do something. Oh, I remember now. Yes.
Watson has eaten the curry, and now he is clearing his throat often and licking his lips. I conclude that he is rather thirsty. Hardly my most illuminating deduction, I grant you. However, the mechanism remains the same when I'm solving much more complex problems. I seek out information and look for connections. I should find him something to drink. I could ring for Mrs. Hudson, but Watson would find it more charming if I were to find him something to drink myself.
Let's charm him. I remember now, we need to get this beaker.
Aha, yes, I shall take the beaker.
Because there is no glasses next to that gazogen. And then we can get some water from it. Lovely.
There, I now have a beaker full of carbonated water.
Good job. Watson?
Here you are, my dear fellow. You seem to be thirsty after your curried lamb. Apologies for the container. Mrs. Hudson seems to have purloined all our glasses. It is clean, I assure you.
Thank you, Holmes. You are right. I am thirstier than I realized. I will trust that you have avoided cross-contamination when it comes to your scientific equipment, and that this is not an attempt to poison me.
Well, I've done that for him at least. Perhaps I should stop delaying. There's something important I need to speak to him about.
Pick up, Watson.
Tempting.
You should try it.
He is not quite so injured that I need to toss him over my shoulder and put him to bed, however.
It would be so fun. Make use
I am
of him.
here to be of use, Holmes. But perhaps wait a while until this particular gunshot injury has healed,
Converse. Oh, we have a lot of things to do.
Did you enjoy your curried lamb?
Yes, very much. Mrs. Hudson may still have some available if you are hungry. You must eat, Holmes. The case is over.
Again, I will say. Have you ever considered getting a dog, Watson?
Sometimes. I am fond of dogs. They require considerable care, however.
Indeed. Yet they are loyal beasts with excellent noses. You remember old Toby, kept by Mr. Sherman? If we had a little more space, and I thought Mrs. Hudson would allow it, I may have thought to buy him and have him here with us. But now both man and dog are long dead. Oh, such is the way of things. Have you written any stories lately?
I've had some attempts at jotting down some historical fiction, but I'm struggling to find a home for them. I may make an attempt at writing up more of your cases. The affair of the dancing men would be popular, don't you think?
It certainly had a touch of the sensational about it.
And finally, we must discuss something very important.
Wait a moment. The thing I wish to say to Watson is quite significant.
Okay?
Am I ready to take this step?
Yes.
Watson, we must discuss something important. Earlier, you presumed that I was berating myself for allowing you to come to harm. While my thoughts have turned that way often, ever since you were injured, it was not what I was thinking in that moment. Rather, I was trying to decide how to share some important news with you. I have decided to retire.
Retire?
Yes, to sequester myself away on the farm of my dreams. I have a notion to take up beekeeping.
Give up your detective work? Surely not. You are simply upset because I was hurt. In a week or two...
No, I'm quite certain. In fact, I purchased a cottage and some land in Sussex several months ago. I do not crave the thrill of detection as I once did. It is a task for a young man, and I am no longer young. It is time to move on.
But what am I to do?
Whatever you like, Watson. I'm not your keeper. It is rather a large cottage.
Holmes, you know that I will never tire of your company. A countryside retirement sounds idyllic. Yet, this is very sudden. I am not certain I am ready for that kind of seclusion. I still have a few decades' worth of a perfectly respectable medical career ahead of me, and people here who rely on me.
Once I fail to supply the curious adventures which thrill you and provide you with material for your sordid magazine stories, you lose interest in me. Is that it?
Of course not. You know that is not true.
Or perhaps you've set your sights on marrying the sensible and pretty matron who brings you flowers and writes you sweet nothings. If you propose, I'm certain she will agree. She has not been subtle about her intentions.
Holmes, you are being childish.
And jealous.
Yes, I suppose I am.
I always enjoy this notion of a fantasy of a romantic relationship between those two, even though that's not what their relationship is about, but still it's just fun to think about that.
Of course, I will come with you if you need me. If you ask me to join you, I will.
No, I cannot ask that of you. You are loyal and true to a fault, my dear, dear Watson, and I'm certain that you would give up your passions to join me in mine. If you did, a seed of resentment would be sown which might drive us apart in the end. I could not endure that.
It seems that we are being drawn along different paths then.
Yes,
Strange, isn't it?
yes, very strange.
They were wonderful years, weren't they? I loved every moment.
Watson, they were glorious. We were glorious.
You won't vanish on me, will you, Holmes? You won't simply disappear without telling me you are going. I could not bear that.
No, I think I have a little more sense these days than to engage in those kinds of theatrics. Should you need me, Watson, you will find me in Sussex, keeping bees and reading philosophy. And you will always be very, very welcome.
Yahoo! 17 years later in Sussex. Our beautiful Watson with grey hair, it seems like. Very slimmed down. Well, go on then.
Watson, are you going to loiter on my doorstep all morning?
Good afternoon, Holmes. My word, you look well. I don't think I've ever seen you with so much flesh on your bones and colour in your cheeks.
I remain as wiry as ever under the knitwear, I assure you.
I must apologise for turning up out of the blue like this. I know I should have written to you ahead of time. My ship came in this morning and I found myself unceremoniously deposited back in England. I couldn't face the hubbub of London. I really am dog-tired. And you do have rather a good track record of perking me up when I'm back from a war. So I thought, I hoped, if it is at all inconvenient, then you must tell me. I am certain I can find alternative accommodation.
Watson, kindly stop talking nonsense. Come inside, get out of that uniform, and make yourself at home. You must stay for as long as you like, my dear, dear Watson. Watson is by my side again. I must ensure that he's able to rest and recuperate, and find a way to tell him, well, many things. But how? A picnic, perhaps, on the cliff tops.
I like how his spotted is now surrounded by roses.
He would like that. The perfect moment of peace and tranquility after the bloodshed he has seen, all the lives he has saved and not managed to save. I will ask my housekeeper for suggestions for what I will need. She can generally be found in the kitchen.
Lovely. First of all, let's explore a gramophone.
A device for playing sound recorded on a disc made of shellac. Although acoustically it is a Platonian shadow of true music, I must say that I enjoy putting on a record in the evenings and enjoying a concert in the comfort of my own home.
But you still have your violin.
My Stradivarius, purchased at a pawnbroker's in Tottenham Court Road for 55 shillings. Dr. Johnson once noted that time, with all its celerity, moves slowly to him whose sole employment is to watch its flight. One does not need to worry about time racing forwards with this particular clock. I removed the pendulum after finding the noise irritating. If you hear any ticking, it is coming from the clock behind you on the opposite wall.
Same painting.
A print of Turner's The Great Fall of the Reichenbach. Watson accuses me of morbidity for keeping it here. I feel it does a man no harm to look at his own death once in a while.
A lamp?
I always find this style of lamp slightly disquieting. I was almost killed by one once, but Watson can tell you the story better than I.
A beekeeping suit.
The protective hat and gloves I use for tending my bees.
Do we need to take it? Yes, we do.
I decided it was only fitting to update the old regal monogram from Baker Street. Of course, we have a new monarch now, George V. However, a letter G does not lend itself well to calligraphy by bullets.
A mouse hole.
A very friendly and intelligent pair of mice live in there. Watson likes to joke that he swears that one of them plays the violin. Various dried flowers and herbs. I was exploring possible uses of botanical pigments in medieval Northumbrian monasteries.
I believe we are done in this room now, right? No, we have a creepy dog statue.
A Staffordshire pottery dog. Watson bought it from the village fete. I detest it.
Do we need to take it?
No, I will not be taking that abomination against good taste anywhere.
What about the violin? Herbs?
I would need to fetch a ladder to reach them, and I have no reason to do so. No, I think they will be staying up there.
Well, let's go and see our housekeeper then. Martha. Oh, right, a pipe.
I've never known a woman with such a passion for tobacco. We can talk for hours about it.
Hair?
Her hair grew very thin many years ago, so now she crops it short and wears a wig.
Smart, I suppose.
A strange idiosyncrasy of my battle axe of a housekeeper is that she is very fond of flowers. She often wears them about her person.
Interesting, is that so? Pipe, hair, flower. Seems like there is nothing to add. But I hear a cat Hodge.
Oh, but she's sleeping and looks so peaceful. I don't wish to wake her. Besides, it would compromise her dignity. Hodge, who I think I must begrudgingly consider to be my cat. Or else I am her human. Well, she turned up one day and has not left me, at least.
So is there anything else in this room? Or do I just need to speak with
you? Martha, I'm planning a surprise picnic for Watson. What key components would you suggest are required?
A surprise picnic, eh? This isn't secretly some scheme, is it?
Scheme?
You're not setting this up in order to capture a gang of counterfeiters or such like?
No, I am setting this up in order to enjoy a picnic.
Oh, well, it was worth checking. I would have thought the location is very important. A quiet spot with a beautiful view, perhaps. You will need a hamper of food, naturally. I recall from his previous visits that the doctor is very partial to Mrs. Kumar's elderflower cordial. I imagine he would appreciate a bottle.
A hamper of picnic food, a bottle of elderflower cordial, and a quiet spot to enjoy both. I think that can be arranged. Thank you. How are you, Martha?
Very well, thank you, sir. Although I am quite busy at the moment. Sometimes it feels like this house is lived in by a couple of elephants, not two distinguished gentlemen.
Can you make a hamper of food for me?
Certainly. When do you need it by?
Lunchtime today.
Mr. Holmes, I do not have time to drop everything, go to the shops, acquire additional food, and make you a picnic in time for lunch. Perhaps you could postpone your plans a few days.
No, Martha, no. It is vital, it is paramount that I will arrange the picnic hamper myself.
And how are we going to do that?
Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir. You will keep out of mischief, won't you?
We will try. Oh, another phone, a painting.
A print of The Shipwreck by Claude Joseph Vernet, who is my esteemed ancestor. It explores concepts of the sublime, the horrible and powerful meeting the beautiful. I've always found it profoundly moving. An old-fashioned model, but it serves me well enough for keeping in touch with the world beyond my hermitage. I could use it to phone my brother Mycroft, should I require his assistance.
Should I call him?
Hello, operator. The Diogenes Club, London, if you please. Yes, I'll hold.
My dear Sherlock, how can I be of assistance?
I actually don't know.
How are you, Mycroft? And how is London?
Oh, I'm well, and so is London. I find that retirement suits me.
You are keeping yourself occupied.
Certainly. I breakfast and read my book from 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock. From 10 until 1 o'clock, I take in the view from my window.
For 3 whole hours, Mycroft. You do not find that dull?
To anyone who wishes to study mankind, that is the spot. I see the whole gamut of society through that window. Then I dine at the Ivy, before heading to the Diogenes from 2:15 until 8:15.
I see. A punishing schedule.
And what are you doing with your dotage, little brother?
I am planning to go on a picnic later.
I am devising a small treat for Watson. A picnic.
Outside?
That is generally the location where one picnics.
Each to their own, I suppose. Personally, I shall be dining at a table.
I would like to ask your advice.
How can I help?
I have nothing to ask advice about at present.
No? Oh, that is a pity.
Goodbye, brother.
Goodbye, Sherlock. Do call again.
I believe we will need to take it.
May I take this, Martha? I may need it to exhume a body.
Of course, Mr. Holmes. It doesn't belong in my nice, clean kitchen in the first place. Did you say exhume a body?
Goodbye, Martha.
I hope we are not going to do that. So that is the room. There is nothing else. We can go upstairs, can we?
You simply wish to know how many bedrooms I have, don't you? Oh, very well.
Some more bullet holes.
I was bored.
Some prints. Dr. Holmes's room. Dr. Watson's room. Dr. Martha's room.
Martha has done an admirable job getting the acid stain out of the woodwork.
I believe we actually need to come through it. Enola. Portraits of criminals.
A nefarious cat burglar, known for charming all those around her. A small part of my collection of portraits of celebrated criminals. I removed most of them on leaving Baker Street, but my room would not feel homely without 1 or 2 about the place.
A microscope. Will we need all this?
This is not my entire laboratory, but a small selection which serves me well for most things. The microscope sees the most use. You should select an item for me to view under the microscope.
Oh, do you have anything? Nothing makes sense, to be honest, so maybe not now. How do I hide it? Bottom drawer, top drawer.
Let me see. There is old chemistry equipment, some pliers, some string. Aha! My lock-picking tools. These are always useful.
Huh.
There is nothing of use in there, I assure you. It is where I keep my unmentionables, and therefore entirely irrelevant to my mission.
Okay, if you say so.
No, it must stay here. It was a present from Miss Tilda, and I wish to keep it.
What? A dressing gown? Do I need it?
My current favourite dressing gown. I've had quite a number over the years. I would rather leave it where it is. It is already a minor miracle that I remembered to hang it up rather than leaving it on the floor.
Whilst
I greatly enjoy lounging in a dressing gown, I do not have time at the moment. I must prepare a picnic for Watson.
A what? A bad woman pan?
If my humble home has any faults, it is that it can become very cold in the winter.
Did people really used to do that?
This device can be filled with embers from the fire and then used to heat the bed. I keep meaning to invest in a rubber hot water bottle instead. I would rather keep it there so I have it readily to hand this evening. Last October, I decided to challenge myself to paint a small painting, one each day throughout the month. I only completed 8 before I became distracted by another project.
Papers. Ah, he pins them down by the knife.
Best to keep them there where I can see them.
What are those papers?
I keep notes to myself pinned here with a jackknife. Let me see. Throw away mould experiment under bed. Dated to 3 weeks ago. I may need to add a new note reminding me to warn Martha before she tidies under the bed.
Is there anything else in the room? Nope, I don't think so. Alrighty, I'm leaving. I will not go to see Mr. Watson right now. Dr. Watson, his doctor. Such disrespect. Do I need to leave now? Oh, he's here. Enjoying the sunshine and the wind and stuff. Should we examine him?
Dr. John H. Watson, my stalwart biographer, intimate friend, and erstwhile partner in the art of detection. There are crumbs on his moustache. Toast, I believe.
So he's not hungry. Do we really need to prepare a picnic?
Clearly, he has been writing this morning. He has ink stains on his hands. Also, I observed him doing it. He is wearing his sturdiest boots, the ones he usually reserves for muddy walks.
So he's been out and about somewhere. Then we have a dog, Toby the Third.
Noble hound, the finest canine in all England with the best nose. Toby, third of that name.
Gosh! I say, that's a little rich. All true, of course. Would the great Sherlock Holmes accept anything less in his loyal hound?
And we have a talking dog as well. Nice. So there is nothing to do here on this side, so let's continue walking. What is that we have here? A honey extractor.
My extractor, designed to drain honey from a beehive frame.
A smoker.
A stainless steel cylinder attached to some bellows.
That's all. Let's continue our travels. Okay, I see some beehives, so we need to get some honey. How do we do that? I have a beekeeping suit. Do I need to wear it? Violin. Can we play some music to the bees? Great talent.
Actually, perhaps I'd better get on with the matter at hand.
It was beautiful. I actually thought maybe it would calm the bees somehow. Oh wait, no. We don't need to calm the bees. How do I... Oh. Maybe we need to use the smoke on them.
It has been known for time out of mind that bees are calmed by smoke. The precise mechanism is a matter of hot debate in apian circles. I am of the opinion that bees communicate danger by releasing subtle smells to one another, which the smoke interrupts. I wrote a short monograph on the subject, if you're interested.
So we are
Only
using the
takes a
smoke
light
of the
touch.
beehive.
I do not want them to be stressed.
Now I believe I have to...
I refuse.
Then how do I... Oh,
There is a full tray of excess honey here. I will take it with me.
okay, that was success. Not sure about the hamper of food. I will also need to get a bottle of something. Honey extractor. Let me get my...
The honey is now in the extractor. I will take the empty tray with me.
I believe I will need to put the tray back into the beehive.
I should put my protective clothing on before making any kind of inspection of the hives.
But they all come down.
I will put this back in the hive.
Good job.
There you are, my friends.
So do we have honey now? I believe we do, but...
Come now, be specific. What do you wish me to use the extractor with?
I don't know. Guess I need to get some kind of jar or bowl for my honey, so I need to come back to the kitchen. Unless we have something here. Doesn't seem so. We have some pots here and stuff, but they're not pickable. Unless I'm missing indications of that. Oh wow, so many people here. And look at him wearing his nightgown.
Toby the Third, my loyal sleuth hound. I had determined not to have another dog after the loss of Toby the Second, but I could not resist that eager little face.
Heliocentric model of the solar system.
I've given up on attempting to get rid of that. It seems I am stuck with it.
Do you want to learn about all these people right now? No, I don't think so. Let's check out the blackboard. There is nothing here. I need to find an elderflower cordial, a hamper of a picnic food. Maybe I need to go to the market or something. I don't know, like I've collected some honey, but I don't really know what to do with it anymore. Do I need to wait for it? Is there something like, what do we do?
The device is best used on the table. There is honey inside the extractor, which I could drain into a suitable container.
That's what I want to understand. I want to get a container. I don't see one. Is there a container here? But stop. No, nothing. Do I continue walking here? Ah, the whole map. Okay, where are we? We are here. The bee farm. There are the gables, the picnic spot, the beach, cottages, and the village. Let's go maybe here. It would seem like a right place for picnic flower cellar.
Flowers! Lovely flowers!
Haven't seen you around here before.
No, sir. I'm a humble wanderer. I goes here and there and everywhere. It's a nice place here, sir. So full of kind people. Kind people who buys me flowers.
What is your name?
My name is Rose. Rose Smith.
She's definitely lying.
Rose Smith, indeed. What an apt name for someone who sells roses. May I buy a flower?
That you may, sir.
Do we have money? We probably do. This is not one of those games where you actually earn money, it seems like. We already had some money. Raffles. Mr. Mandas. Philip. Hans. Some people coconut chai. You know what? I will continue this too next time. It was a nice introductive part up until this time, so I will leave this part here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Have a nice day, night, morning. Bye bye.